Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss how exactly the packet travels in the internet. When a packet is generated at the source device and when it leaves to the source device, how exactly it will going to reach the destination device. So let us see. So I have a setup in my packet tracer. So this is my source IP source machine source device which is having IP address of 1.34 and it is having the default gateway as 1.1, which is interface of this router, and destination device is 192.168.2.2, which is having the default gateway as 192.168.2.1, which is external interface of this router. So I have generated a ping packet from this device to the destination device 2.2. So let us see what exactly the changes will happen. So when packet is generated, whenever we ping from one device to another device, so ICMP packet will be generated and the ICMP packet will be look like this. Okay, so it will have the source IP address which is the 1.34 of the source machine, and destination IP as 2.2, which is my destination IP address to whom I'm pinging, and the source MAC address is the MAC address of this machine, source machine, and destination MAC is the MAC address of the default gateway, the internal interface of the router. So with this information the packet will generated and it will travels from source device to the switch. Okay, so when this packet reaches the switch it will remain same. Switch see the MAC address of the destination device, and as already switch is maintaining the ARP table, MAC table, so he will send this packet to the router internal interface. As you already know the MAC address of internal interface of the router, which is default gateway, to that it will send the MAC address. Let me show you the in first packet and second packet the destination MAC address will be remain same, because switch will not going to change anything. It will just pass the packet to the destination MAC address. As we can see, it is having .7701 as a destination MAC address. So here also the destination MAC address is also same, 77 and 01. From this switch transfer this packet from this from switch to from the switch to the device switch is transfer this packet from switch to router with the help of MAC address. Okay, when it reaches to the router the MAC address will remain same. Okay, let me show. So when packet reaches from switch to the destination, in packet travels from switch to the router, the MAC address will remain same and the IP address, source IP, destination IP will be remain same. The MAC address will not change till the it reaches to the router. Nothing will change when in the packet till it reaches to the router. After reaching the router will accept this packet as he's having the MAC address as mentioned in the destination MAC address. So router will, let me bring it a little bit here. So router will transfer this packet from his internal interface to router external interface, and he will do some changes. Okay, from router the packet reaches to the switch with the help of external interface which is having the default gateway as 2.1. So when packet travels from external interface to switch, the some changes will be made, and which will be the MAC address. So entire packet will remain same, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5, layer 6. There will no changes in any layer in the packet, just changes will happen in the layer 1 and layer 2. The layer 2 will be having the source MAC address as of external interface MAC address of this router. So this is the MAC address as we are seeing the dot 7702. This is the MAC address of the external interface of the router, which is having the IP address as 192.168.2.1, which is the default gateway for this machine, external machine. So that is the MAC address will display in the source MAC address, because the packet is traveling from this device. So the MAC address will be the MAC address of this interface, external interface, and destination MAC address will be the MAC address of the destination device. Okay, and this is the .81.6e. This is the MAC address of the destination device, which is having IP address of 2.2. Okay, this packet will reaches to switch, and switch will already also maintains a MAC table. So based on the MAC address, he will transfer this packet to the destination device. As we can see, there will no changes in the MAC addresses, because switch will just transfer the packet on the basis of MAC address. Source IP is the 1.34, which is the IP address of the our source machine, and destination IP address is the IP address of the destination machine. There will be no changes in the IP addresses. If there is another device, okay, if there another device, so now we can see the this is the generated packet from the reply packet. Okay, let me not go there. So source IP is the 1.34 and the destination IP is 2.2, which is the IP address of destination machine, and the source MAC is the MAC address of the external interface of the router, and the destination MAC is the MAC address of the destination device. So this is this packet is generated by the router. Okay, he will just change the MAC addresses and transfer this packet to the switch, and from switch this packet will reaches to the destination device. As the destination device is having the IP address as 2.2 and the MAC address exact matches to the packet, so he will reply the packet with the response packet, and he will send the reply to the ICMP request. So and he will make some changes. Source MAC address will be the, and then destination device will generate a ICMP reply packet, and the source MAC address will be the MAC address of the destination device, this device 2.2, because it is generating the packet. So the MAC address will have his own MAC address, and the IP address, source IP address is the 2.2, and destination IP address will be the, let me show. So as we can see, so this is the reply packet which is generated by the destination device, which is having source IP as 2.2 as of this machine, and he is having the destination IP address as 1.34, which is the IP address of this machine. Okay, and he is having the MAC address of his own as source MAC address, as he is generating the packet, as he is generated the packet. So MAC address will be the MAC address of the machine 2.2, and destination MAC address will be the MAC address of the external interface of the router. So this dot 7702 MAC address, this is the MAC address of the router external interface, which is having the IP address as 2.1. Okay, so now packet will reaches to the switch, and switch will transfer this packet to the router external interface, as he is having the same MAC address what mentioned in the packet. So switch will transfer that to the router, and from router packet will reaches to the another internal switch, and he will make some changes in the MAC address. Entire packet will remain same above layer 2. So just changes will happen in the MAC address. So router will put the source MAC as his own MAC address of internal interface, which is the default gateway for this machine, which is having the IP address as 192.168.1.1. So he will change the MAC address of the source MAC address, because he is generating the packet, and the MAC address will be the source MAC address will be the MAC address of this internal interface of the router, and destination MAC address will be the MAC address of the machine of .1.34, because he is to this machine the packet has to be reached. Okay, so IP address will remain same. After this, the switch will transfer that packet to the 1.34, because this is having the MAC address as same as in the packet which is sent by the router, which is transferred by the router, who is having the same MAC address. Okay, let me show you. So from the switch to from switch, the packet will reaches to the device, source device. So this is how exactly the packet travels in the internet. So in our case, we are having only one router. So in real time, there will be n number of routers. There will be many number of routers. So packet will transfer in this way only. When packet reaches to the when packet come out from the device, it will transferred it will travel in the internet just based on the MAC address till it matches the destination IP address. The packet will travels in the internet on the basis of MAC address only. Okay, so whenever packet travels from one router to another router, the MAC address is only sufficient to transfer the packet from one router to another router. Okay, that's all about how packet travels in the internet. Thank you guys.